Here's a poor person hack for you. If you don't have AC and it starts getting too hot in your house, just jump in the shower. Let that wet hair be an over-the-shoulder swamp cooler. Wash, rinse, and repeat as needed. One day we'll have money. I've done my makeup for the first time in days and I don't care who knows it. Oh. So with the church that Drew and I belong to, everybody is given what is called a calling, and it's kind of like a different responsibility on a volunteer basis to help out around the church. Drew and I both work with youth in the church. He works with combined young men and young women in teaching them lessons on Sundays, and I work with the young women, taking one Sunday a month to teach a lesson and one Wednesday in the month to do some sort of activity with them. Tonight actually happens to be an activity that I'm in charge of, and we're going to a local grist mill, and they put on an annual pageant, I believe, about the history of the city, but a lot of members of our church are going to be in this pageant, so we're going to support. But this Sunday is actually my turn to teach as well, so I've been going throughout the lesson today, trying to plan and prepare, and it's all about dating, and I'm kind of nervous about it. Now, usually, back up. Our ward is a very small ward. There aren't a lot of members in our area. It's called a boundary. They just kind of divide neighborhoods into boundaries, and so that's how they split up wards, so that, you know, it kind of keeps track of the numbers, so you don't have one huge ward, one tiny ward. Anyways, our ward is super tiny, and so that means there are only two young women. One is 13 and one is 17. And usually in young women's, they separate the girls into three groups, and they just divide them by ages. And so you're able to teach each individual group based on their age. But because there's only two young women in our ward, that means that we just combine everything together. And so that makes teaching a bit harder because you have to cater to a younger age and an older age when they're both obviously in very different stages in their life. So that's hard enough, but when you throw dating in the mix, I'm not sure how to do this. One of the big issues for me is I grew up in the hangout generation. People didn't date, they hung out. And so I really don't have a lot of words of wisdom or personal experience to share with these girls. So I'm not sure how to go about this lesson. Pretty sure I'm the least qualified person to talk about dating. So yeah, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. If anybody has any suggestions, jot them down below. I would love and need all the help I can get. So along with dating, another thing that I think about a lot is how technology has changed the way that we date. I know that I'm guilty of being that person that would rather text than call, mostly because I'm just super awkward in person, and even more so on the phone, which is an incredible feat, but I accomplish it nonetheless. But that's really about the extent that technology played a role in my dating life. I never participated in any of the dating apps or anything like that. So I'm just very curious what effect that's going to have on this generation and ones to come. There's the Diesel brothers again. But anyways, it's just something interesting to think about. And the crazy thing is, who knows what the future holds as far as technology goes? Like, in a decade, are people even going to continue to date? Because, I mean, artificial intelligence and virtual reality is already a pretty big thing. Can you imagine what it's going to be a decade from now? Are people just going to want to stay home and not be bothered by real people? Are they just going to come home and go into their virtual reality because that's where they're the happiest? I mean, I don't know. Does anybody else think about things like that, or is it just me? Am I a weirdo? Yes, I'm a weirdo. I understand that, but just curiosities. But I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows until we get there. It's just something fun to think about. Pretty cool and interesting and mind-boggling, or completely terrifying, depending on how you look at it. Gee, my girls were lucky to have me as a teacher. I love our church building. So pretty. The nice thing about where we live is we have a 30-second walk to the church building. So it's really convenient for those of us who can't drive. Whoa. Whoa. Good morning, you guys. It was super late by the time we got home last night, so I just went to bed, hair and makeup and clothes. But it was a lot of fun. It's this really cool historical site. We didn't get a chance to really walk around and go through the buildings. I'd love to go back at a different time that I can, you know, go really experience it. But tonight was just the pageant, and they talked about the history of Utah and Tooele County, and the mill is called Benson Grist Mill. And for those of you in the LDS realm will know the name Ezra Taft Benson, and he was asked by Brigham Young to build this grist mill, so hence Benson Grist Mill. Anyways, I'm gonna finish enjoying the sunrise because I have a lot to do today. It's Alpine Days, and that means everybody's going camping at Grandma's house tonight. I love having an entourage.
Oh, did you get all your wiggles out? Did you get all your wiggles out? Did you get them out?
Okay, let's go for a ride. And we're already back home. Yay! Did everybody have fun camping? That was so fun. We forgot our tent. This is a big dog. If anybody wants to know what Noah's Ark was like, here's a good representation. Just like my husband, he's so stinking cute. Got the tent. Okay, we ready this time?
I think so.
Let's go.
Pizzas, let's spill our guts, yeah.
Drew, you want to explain what Alpine Days is? The tradition?
Alpine Days is the city celebration for Alpine, and it has been a tradition ever since I can remember that my entire family puts up their tents and camps out in my grandma's backyard.
This is my second year. Last year was my, not introduction, my, not insemination.
No. No.
What's the word? Initiation.
Initiation.
Everybody's got their seats set up for tomorrow's parade. Call it a night right here.
I think so.
So every Saturday morning, not every Saturday morning, but for Alpine Days, we take a walk down to the local donut shop to get donuts. One of the things I love most about Utah is how festive it is here. Like, everybody goes all out. They've got parades for everything. When it's the 4th of July, everybody does fireworks. So the whole town, the whole city, the whole state is just lit up with fireworks. And I just love how festive it is. It's so fun. I'm going to see the polar bear. Come on. Let's see the polar bear. Whoa. Okay.
Let's not see the polar bear.
So I guess the dogs are not a fan of art. Nope. Nope, 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 nope.
Do you think it's over here by itself because it's ostracized?
It's like a secret garden back here. That's where we're gonna wrap it up. It's been a fun, eventful weekend. The puppies have passed out. We're gonna go home and pass out. But you know, ain't nobody gets